So thanks for joining. This is our planning call number 5. And as usual, we're in the middle of a lot of things. Let's just start from the very top and go through each of these events one by one. That seems like it was a good method the last few times. Hey, Johannes. Um, so our first event, as we start, let me just share that document real quick, and then we will kick off with the event that's furthest out, which is Presidio. And there was a little bit of movement. Hey, Jason. So we had a call with the people who run the co-working space in San Francisco, and we got a better idea of really bit of clarification, getting on the same page a bit about like it's a co-working space. So during September, probably late September, that will be the event. How many people can fit in? What rooms are available? That we have to kind of, can't bug the other people in the co-working space all the time. Just very general outlines of things. So it's not gotten super specific yet, but like a nice step forward to actually meet the people who run the place and get a little bit on the same page in general.
I think next steps for Presidio, just to tally off what Christoph said, is now I think this first stage was feeling out the capabilities, the opportunities for us to use the space itself, limitations, what we can use, when we can't use it, because it is a paid co-working space. Now that we know that, we can move forward to thinking about like an actual schedule, and we can then think about creating an application form so people can apply to attend the event. The event will be capped at 20 people. We already have like 9 people in mind, so probably we're looking for another 11, which is not much. So those feel like the most logical steps, and I think we can maybe just share the planning document in the conference channel so that people can just jump in and see the most updated. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's in a way our most restrained event because it's just 20 people in San Francisco, right? Lots of travel for almost everyone here, probably. Opposite of the Designathon, where it's global, everyone can participate, no restrictions, anything, right? Just very different.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any questions or thoughts on the Presidio thing? Yeah. Okay, just reach out any time on here or in Discord or whenever.
Right.
The next furthest out is Oslo Freedom. No, BTC Prague is the next one.
Oh yeah, Michael, do you want to?
Well, not really that many updates since last time. I think last time we said that the only thing that's changing compared to last time is that we won't get somebody else will have to sponsor the kind of the cool furniture.
Mm-hmm.
The foundation Bitcoin Design Foundation will sponsor it.
Nice. And I think the most important thing now is to get the schedule finalized. I think we have 6 talks so far, and we'd probably need another 3 or 4. And what I would probably do a bit differently than last time was to give more kind of maybe 10 minutes break between the talks. Because there was a lot of people, coming in, going out, and there was no real kind of there was not that much time to actually talk stuff and then prepare the next speaker. So maybe like have 30 minutes talk, then 10 minutes break, and then another 30 minutes. And for the afternoon, I thought what we could discuss is whether we actually want to really this time kind of have just like user testing booths or a space like where we could show the demo the Bitcoin Core app and talk to people who try it out and just kind of do some lightweight interviews and stuff like that, because there is enough space that we could, for the projects that are interested. that kind of could have one corner each, like 2 or 3 projects, and kind of be like a mini studio. But that's just what I was thinking. I don't know whether we have enough kind of projects or content to discuss there.
Yeah, I think we've kind of pushed this back a few times now, figuring out these activities. We just need to attack them, and as usual, it's best if 1, 2, 3 people maybe just kind of take ownership of it, and then just start some threads about it, ping some people about it who might attend if they're willing to
Yeah.
talk or anything. Create that. I think we have a brainstorm list of things we could possibly do, and if those people who take that on that task, they just kind of start adding a little bit more detail and then just kind of think through it a little bit and do so publicly in a way that everyone can chip in. I mean, I'll help figure that one out because I'll be there. Michael, maybe you're also going to be there probably, so maybe it makes sense if the two of us are definitely part of that. But I don't know, anyone else wants to help figure that one out?
I will help to chip in more, but I've just been busy with research plans and strategy documents today. My brain could not get into that yet. So I will help out with that as well as much as I can, even though I won't be attending. I'm happy to help.
So should we try, Michael, to have something a more proper plan by next Thursday?
Yeah, definitely. It's. I mean, I'm glad that the Easter holidays are like I have a long weekend, which means that at work nobody is expecting me to work,
Yeah.
so I can work on that a little bit more.
Okay. Let's make that a to-do. Anyone else wants to chip in with that one? Fine either way. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's anything else with BTC Prague? Yeah, I mean you start. Yeah. Okay. And then Oslo Freedom Forum. So I think the user testing, Mo, right? Everything is in good shape. Things are organized. There's conversations with the two teams, White Noise and Dana Wallet, who are going to do user testing in person with activists about refining their research plans and also discussing, the getting the applications, the parts of the application that will be tested that are important to test, making sure those are in a good state and they function and
Yeah.
by the time the event comes around. So but I think everything there is pretty much.
I feel like there's 3 moving parts with Oslo Freedom Forum. It's Dana Wallet, White Noise, and the one-on-one interviews that we'll be doing. I feel like the one-on-one interviews we'll be doing, I'm not too concerned about that because that's not reliable on development. But the two that I am a little bit concerned about in terms of, just ensuring that we're testing the products that have reached a certain stage of development, I'm a little bit concerned about that until it actually happens. So it's just, I think, working with White Noise and Dana Wallet to get their products at a stage where they're happy with what they're testing is the most important thing at this stage. So yeah, that's it. And I shipped a UX research plan for White Noise today in their Signal chat group. Dana Wallet already has their UX research plan. So now it's just making sure that the UX research plan meets what is operational developmentally at the time of testing. Yeah.
Yeah, is that transparent enough? Does anyone want to see those research plans? We can share links, or I don't know. Anyone wants to be involved? Just reach out. It's all very public stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy to share in the research channel. I actually haven't shared any of the research plans. There's 3 research plans that are made around this whole initiative. I guess I'll share it tomorrow in the research channel. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and then I guess Designathon. It is, and that's the big one. That's what we're right in the middle. And so I think we have, I don't know, maybe let me just pull that up. Airtable here. This is where all the data is being stored. We have 57 participants. we had 10, 12 idea submissions there. One of them didn't have much text here, so I didn't copy. And I need to copy that one over, decentralized design. Yeah, and then next week we're gonna. These are all projects from. This is duplicate from the previous event, but people will submit. No, projects here. Yeah, people will submit projects, and then we'll have project lists, and that's gonna go live next week. So on the website there will be. Here there will be extra section like submit your project, and then people can say, I want to be part of this project. I want to be part of this project. People can start talking to each other and just kind of start getting in the mood, getting things rolling. And then we have these ideas here that people can look at. Then the other thing that happened, like awesome work with getting Bitcoin Magazine and Bitcoin News. Those articles are out. We've posted on social media almost every day. The prices are live. We're having conversations with Blockstream and Plan B Network around sponsoring. No idea what's going to happen there. But if you watch this, if you're from Blockstream or Plan B and you're watching this, we love you. Please sponsor. So I don't know. Anyone else wants to has ideas for sponsors? We'll just reach out or do things. And I don't know. Did I miss anything? It feels like there's a lot going on around this event in this ramp up time. Probably forgetting some conversations or other things that are happening.
I feel, yeah, I don't know. My brain is already moving on to what should be the next step because I feel like,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, we had Mo, your UX research workshops are in the schedule now. Eric submitted design a node, make Bitcoin printable workshop. Then we have the Bitcoin Design Live. So the Global Accessibility Awareness Day workshop. So the schedule is also starting to fill up a little bit.
Yeah, I added a few last night as well with some tentative dates because I wanted to talk to you guys about them. Mm-hmm. So the first one would be just like a short talk about the accessibility track on the kickoff day, right? So 5 minutes or whatever it takes to just introduce it, let people know that it's there, along with the other tracks, right? So I'm not sure if we had already planned to do that or not, but I put that as a placeholder there just in case.
Sorry, where did you put this one? Oh, this was this one here in my. Is this visible in my background here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
And then above that, actually, on May 4th, just a short talk about or video about the accessibility track. So trying to get some content together for that. So I think it would be really brief, just an introduction to what we're doing as far as the design tracks go, including the accessibility track. And then, May 6th, I'm looking at 1700 UTC, which is 12 p.m. my time, to do an accessibility resources for design and dev teams. So this will be kind of like a hands-on, or it'll be like a get off the ground running type workshop with just enough information to know where to look for resources, right? So teams can get started if they have any ideas for the accessibility track. And then May 15th, I'm looking at doing 2 workshops, go a little more in depth there, and then also have office hours before and after those workshops, after those workshops for 2 hours.
Well, that's super cool.
Yeah.
So those May 15, that is just. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm taking the entire day off on May 15th so I can do this. So.
Oh, wow, that's super cool. So this is shortly before. This is just a few days before submissions. So it's going to be a little bit tight for people to apply it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, awesome. Thank you so much for doing this. That's super cool.
Sure. And I haven't fully fleshed out all the content there, but working on that.
Yeah.
What else did I have? Oh, yeah. The design and accessibility track for workshops for hackathon participants, May 9th. I think that's when we're going to do it. I'm not 100% sure, though. I was hoping we'd have Alex on the call. I don't know if he's on the call or not. But I know he said he wanted to do it around Hack Day, right? So I don't know if that means the day before Hack Day, right? Because they're going to announce, what the hackathon is going to include on Thursday, which is May 8th, Thursday afternoon.
Mhm.
But then May 9th, all day is the hack day, I believe. And so
Mhm.
I'm wondering if it's better do it May 8th in the afternoon after they announce the hackathon and teams are starting to gather, or do it the next morning, May 9th, after some teams have already gathered and worked on their stuff overnight, and they might have some more questions about what tracks they want to apply to. So,
Yeah, right. Is it helpful to have the information right at the start, or is it better to let people dig in and then answer specific questions and things that they might have run into already?
yeah. Like for me, Friday would be easier because I have a meetup on Thursday night as well. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm open. So if we need to do it Friday, or Thursday, I can do it Thursday. I just need to know so I can schedule some things.
It's awesome. This is probably the tightest accessibility program any Bitcoin event's ever had,
100%.
at least that I'm aware of.
Yeah, and sorry, I had some questions from Sahil around that as well. So Sahil agreed to do the design portion of this design and accessibility track workshop, right? So I was thinking it would be probably around 30 minutes or so. I'm not 100% sure how long they want us to go. So I just told Sahil it would be 30 minutes as the initial target, but he had a couple questions. So let's see. One of them was, is 30 minutes the target? And is there flexibility if less time is fine? He said he can leave space for Q&A open. He was asking exactly which day it's going to fall on because it doesn't matter to him because he's going to be at the mining conference on the 7th. I think it'll be fine for him though because May 8th and May 9th are the days that more than likely it'll fall on, and the mining conference is not that day. He was asking about the audience, who's going to attend. Is it going to be designers, developers, builders, a mix? I can answer that question for him. But then he had topic suggestions. Are there specific topics or ideas to cover in the workshop for the design portion? So I wanted to reach out to this team to see if Christoph or Mo, if you had any ideas on what we should focus on as far as design principles for him to cover for the hackathon.
So that's for the mempool, Austin, Bitcoin Plus Plus.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know it's when I think mempool, it's basically information design, like data dashboards, how to communicate information effectively, where people don't like have to see data but then have to evaluate it on their own. But you highlight it in the right way, you present it in the right way, where the patterns become obvious, the things that you really like evaluates things for you and highlights the right things. So I don't know. That would be my initial hunch, but I'm not sure if people really stick with the hackathon topic. If everyone's just like totally off that and doesn't care, it might be something different.
I've seen a mix in the past, so it's hard to say. But
I mean, if it's very, if it's a very, it's sort of presenting data in a way that's easy and accessible for people to understand. So I guess I would also encourage him to include something in the workshop that has to do with what does he think, to kind of stimulate the minds of the builders to try to think about what do they think are going to be the highest priority in terms of data that users are going to want to see. So try to pivot their minds towards thinking about what users are going to want to see first. And what's going to be, maybe tier one is going to be, this is the most important, this is going to be the second most important, this is going to be the third most important, and trying to think about that in the design process, as opposed to maybe just going for the traditional approach, which of what everything else is out there. And maybe they could even come up with 2 different pathways. I don't know.
Yeah.
So something like that. I don't know.
I think the most important thing is that we'll have a designer there ready to ask questions and to provide some just initial information to the teams, right? That's good. I'll bring those 2 topics to him. So information design
and if it's
user-centered design around information and what the user needs to understand as far as the mempool goes, right?
Yeah. And if it's a hackathon, resources to get off the ground quickly, places where you can copy paste designs from, UI kits, I don't know, that type of stuff is probably just very practical, so they can just do the most within their limited amount of time that they have at the event.
Exactly. Perfect. Yeah, that was the extent of his questions for the most part. So yeah, I just need confirmation from Alex, I guess, on exactly which day they want us to do it. So I'll reach out to him in the Signal chat instead.
Awesome. Super cool. So I will. This one I can already put in Airtable and put it live. This one we're waiting for time and date, and then these two I can also put live. And even if it's live, I can, things move around by an hour or something or so. This is all still 3 weeks away. I don't think anyone's scheduling their life around it at this point in time. We can still make tweaks as we go.
Thanks so much for organizing everything, Jason, next to your full-time job. Very much appreciated.
You can thank me later once it's done.
No, I believe in you. You're going to be fine. You're going to be just fine. Yeah.
Should be fun.
We'll make it fun. Okay, let's see what else. It feels like there's so much stuff going on around this event. The sponsor stuff, I think we're all good. Sponsorship, we're trying to talk to people. If we can talk to more people, that's great. So the Bitcoin 2025 hackathon has already started, and we're with Alex, and we're sponsoring a design track there. This is up on the b25.devpost.com. I don't know if everyone hasn't seen it yet. That is there. That is a page for that hackathon. And I think everyone here is like, if you want to take part in this hackathon, just do it, right? You win that design prize if you want to, or any other prize. This is happening. You can sign up for it right now. Go for it. And here we have Bitcoin Design Foundation logo, which is great. The workshops we haven't really scheduled there. I just kind of poked around in the BTC++ Discord a little bit in the designer channel to feel things out. On DevPost, there are about 200 participants. 4 of them are designers, so it's definitely in the minority. I was hoping that maybe through the Discord we learn a little bit about what they're working on, or then we organize a workshop accordingly. But there's not a ton of visible activity. Maybe people work somewhere else. So we haven't scheduled any workshops for that event yet. Maybe we should just be proactive and do something and blast it out. I don't know. What does everyone think? What should we do there?
I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking. But I'm not sure how involved those workshops would be. They're going to be online workshops. Probably need to do a couple of them, right, for time's sake, right, for folks around the world. And then, but as far as how long and how involved they would be, I'm not 100% sure. I could potentially do something on accessibility as well, if you needed me to. Just need to look at the dates and see if it works for my work schedule.
Yeah. I mean, it could be office hours type, or it's not topical, but it's more open.
Yeah.
People hop in. It could be anything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any strong feelings there?
Or we could just, point folks to the stuff that we're already doing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, which would start in from May 4 to 18. That wouldn't necessarily be the next couple of weeks. There would be no workshops or anything happening. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll just Maybe I'll just put something in the calendar for next week, like hackathon design basics, or I don't know, just something general, and just offer it up and just kind of show up. If no one shows up, cool. People show up, also cool. Just kind of feel it out in practice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that'll be fine.
And if people love it, we can schedule more. We can be flexible, I guess. Okay. Yeah, but that's awesome that that's going. Yeah, I don't think we're talking to Galloy or Jason. Did you say you could talk to Unchained?
I need to reach out to somebody at Unchained. Honestly, I don't know who to talk to directly at this point. I mean, I know the founders, but I just don't really talk to them that often. So, but But I think I got a contact from somebody at Nashville that I might reach out to. I did talk to my employer, and they seemed interested. So crossing my fingers there. I asked them for a very small amount just because I wanted to make it palatable to them.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be nice if we get a couple sponsors for that track. But,
yeah,
I'll try to reach out to that contact from Unchained as well.
Awesome. Yeah, or any new tracks, or and we can give them some visibility. We can shout out the names and whatnot. Hey, Eric.
One thing in that document that was not 100% clear is what the sponsors are going to get out of the event. So I think somebody mentioned that in the note. That would be good to add some information, because I don't know, are we a 501c3 in the United States? Can they get tax write-offs for any of this stuff, or?
Yeah, this is where it gets tricky. With the Bitcoin Design Foundation being a Brussels-based legal entity through Open Collective.
Right, and that's fine if not.
A bit messy. No, it's not. It's more for the glory.
And that's fine. They just need to know that, right?
Yeah,
because they're asking questions about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll put a note in here, and I will add that. I'll put my name.
Still in Brazil, Eric? No. Okay. Back home.
Buenos Aires. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, Argentina.
There we go. Let's go, Eric. Amazing.
Yeah, sorry I'm late. Time zone stuff got messed up. How long has this meeting been going on? 30 minutes?
30 minutes, yeah. We'll have to hop off on time because Christoph and I have another meeting that starts exactly on the dot.
No worries.
Okay, so I still haven't worked on the high contrast theme for the website. It's not accessible enough. Shame on me. FAQ sections there. Veronica gave me some feedback. She looked at the site, gave me some good feedback, so some minor things to clarify some of the copy. Social media, I've been posting almost every day or so. I put everything in the schedule there, everything that was posted. Yeah, if anyone wants to design more stuff for social media, so go for it. But I don't know. Otherwise, I feel like everything's rolling pretty well.
It feels like it's in good shape.
Keep at it, attract more people, start conversations, get more ideas out there.
I feel like we can move now maybe more into planning around judging. So like inviting judges, judging criteria, Excel document for judging. So just in the judging realm of things, anything to do with judging. Who's going to be the judges? What are going to be the judging criteria? What spreadsheet are they going to use? And I know that's like really far ahead. Then we're like super far ahead of time.
When are we going to start judging? Is it the last day, or is it a couple days before? When is the cutoff for the
I feel like we might have baked in 2 days or something for judging. I don't know.
17th by midnight, right? Yeah.
That's it. So we can change this. This is not super final. We can adjust it if we want to. But that way, if it's midnight, May 17th, then they have a Saturday to wrap things up, which is good for people who, can't do much during the week or so. And then that gives May 18 much of the day. Then
right?
May 18 should be Sunday.
Okay, yeah, that should work for me then too.
And that gives that day. So what we did last time too, the organizers, Mo and I, we did kind of summaries for the judges where we listed all the projects and we kind of put links to their design files, to wherever communication channel they use, just tried to summarize things to make it a little bit easier for not to influence or prime the judges, but to just pull together like the objective information, the starting points for the judges. And then there was a spreadsheet that each person got individually with criteria where they could just put like from 0 to 10 for each project for, innovation, design, different criteria. And then they went through that independently. Then organizers again copied all the values of that, put that in another Google sheet that then came up with the total tallies for each individual. And then whoever got the highest number from that basically got the first prize, second prize, third prize. The other part there are the sponsor prizes, right? Eric and Gundlaf, you're gonna have figure out your own judging if you want to, and we can also help figure that out if you know.
Yeah, I guess I'll start working on like what the criteria will be for that specific challenge.
Yeah.
We're going to have an accessibility track as well, right, with a mini prize. So maybe
Yes.
Jason wants to think about judging criteria for that one because you'd be the best. It's not a biggie. Maybe you just want to think of 5 random points that you're just like, boom, 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 done. It doesn't
Yeah,
have
and I have a checklist I can draw from these type of hackathons we've done in the past. So a little more in depth as far as accessibility goes, but we can just pare it down and repurpose.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess recruiting judges is a thing. But I know I still feel like in the next week or so, Easter's coming up. If we just kind of talk about it, promote it, talk about ideas, just get the world pumped up about this, then, that's time very well spent.
Yeah.
Get it into another magazine article or write-up or, continue scheduling.
Do we feel like we have enough applications in? I think we have maybe 50, between 50 and 60. It feels okay. I mean, I hopped into the Airtable and I noticed that at least, don't quote me, like 70% of the people, when we asked them for contact information, they provided a Discord name. So at some point, we'll have to scrape all those Discord names and maybe, or add them into a group to get their attention, like, hey, it's kicking off, or create one post on Discord and just tag everyone. Because then it's like, okay, now it's going, or 5 days to countdown or something. Because I'm just trying to think, how are we going to contact those people and let them know it's kicking off, let's go.
Yeah.
I could help with that.
Because sometimes people, I think, sign up for events and then they're just like, okay, but I feel like if we just scrape all of that data, put all those Discord names, reach out to the ones Twitter, feels like something that we should do maybe a week before kickoff, something like that, sort of last week of April. Scrape all those usernames and then just send out one message like TikTok countdown, 7 days, see you there. Here's the link to the kickoff call, something like that.
Yeah, I could help with that if that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, amazing. That would be super cool. Amazing would be if we split it up and each of us contacts like 10 people. It's not a huge amount of work and it's a little bit more personal. And maybe we can ask people, tell them like, just help onboard people a little bit. It's so the first event 3 years ago, we actually had 60 participants sign up through the form.
Mm-hmm.
For this one, we're at 57 right now. So I think we're in a pretty good place in that regard. I think we had more ideas. But I think just regular participants sign up. I think we're doing pretty well.
Yeah. So that's I think in terms of end of April, that's kind of what I see, like just basically like the judges judging criteria and then scraping the contact information and contacting people. Because as I said, sometimes people sign up and then they forget and yeah.
I think discussing these ideas is actually a cool thing. Someone suggested a Zeus redesign, and I contacted Evan, and he's like, "Yeah, we want to do a redesign before we launch a version 1." And I asked him, "Hey, how about using this Designathon here for it?" And each of these here is a story somehow. I don't know. It would be kind of cool to have more actually have conversations about the individual ideas somehow, and maybe that sparks some people who want to work on them. And if you have more ideas, just take a look through them, add anything you feel like's missing.
Could we have like a pitch day where the folks that have submitted ideas do like a 3-minute pitch as to what kind of project they're working on and why people should join their project?
That'd be a really cool thing. That's a great idea.
That's a great idea. I think we should add,
Like
such a good
during
one.
the kickoff, or maybe after the kickoff on the same day, or maybe early that week.
I think the kickoff might be best time to do so, and if it's just very quick somehow.
Yeah.
2-minute pitch.
Like a lightning round, just for folks that want to present on it, right? So
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Let's see. Kickoff. So we will talk about the tracks, of course, during the kickoff. Lightning round project ideas. Yeah, great idea. I think that kind of wraps up our formal plan for this call. Anything else you want to chat about? If someone wants to do some more social media graphics, I'd be super thankful for that, or post it on your LinkedIn or wherever you want to do. Also, a great time to do that, or companies to reach out to, or so. Just reach out. If not, we can also just wrap it up here.
We can wrap it up.
You are ready because you're just going on 2 hours of meetings. You have another
We've
coming
had
up
2
in
hours of
15
meetings
minutes.
and
It's
then
a
get a
totally different topic.
break in between.
Yeah.
I can just refresh.
So, but Umar, Johannes, Lola, you've been pretty quiet here. If there's any questions you have, have to have your input.
So sorry about that. After the initial planning rounds, it kind of got very confusing to, pitching at any point because everything was moving so fast and everyone seemed to know what to do. So, I just made comments when necessary and all of that. But I'm still helping out in any way I can.
But yeah,
I'm
don't
sure
feel
that's
like everyone knows what they're doing. That's not the case.
No, not at all.
we're just feeling it out as we go.
Like making contacts with people. Designathon has happened before, so I'm kind of new. I'm sure Umar is too, and Lola is too. So I've actually been keeping track, and pitching in where I can. After working more on the copy, I think it has been pretty fast paced from there. But we're available to help in any way, and sometimes we're just shy.
Yeah, no, really appreciate it. I know, like, for a few of us who do this full time, like we just have more time and we can go a certain pace and get some of these lined up. But yeah, it's amazing to have your input, just feedback on things that are not looking right. Like when Veronica just looked through the website and told me some things that didn't make sense for her, all that stuff's very helpful. Or just having great conversations around these ideas and all of this. Yeah, great.
Yep.
There's no there's no hard deadlines here as well. Like if you think about it, like the judging criteria, like we have, I don't know, super long to think about that. It's more right now just just making sure, I think maybe that the people who signed up actually show up, and maybe scheduling. Christoph, is it an idea that all of the workshops that are scheduled for the Designathon, that we also put it in the community calendar, or do you think?
Totally, they should go in there.
Yeah, so maybe that's another step to do, is put all the events in the Bitcoin design community calendar as well.
Yeah.
So people are now like, okay, stuff's happening, kickoff call, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and that reminds me around the ABDC design crit as well. There was a question of what format should we use for folks to join. So I think Jitsi would work after talking to somebody at Bitcoin Park Commons. But just having it on the schedule. I changed the time from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. because 7 p.m. is actually when the design crit starts. The first hour is other discussions. So.
Okay, cool. Let me
It usually starts about 7:15, but if we get people there at 7, then they'll have 15 minutes to get, situated before we start the design crit, and that usually lasts 45 minutes. So we're looking at 2 to 3 teams, I would say max, can submit their idea there and their design for us to review. but we're all confirmed. We're good to go there. So
Excellent.
we have buy-in from everyone.
Something that else that I think would be really interesting too is just look at these ideas and see how far ideas can be stretched. Like, what's the coolest, craziest thing that you could imagine during this designathon that you would just love to see happen? What's something, how, like, what can be done here? What would be fun? What would be like, so you would say like, whoa, this is actually something we can do, or don't be surprise you, or to be out there.
New York Times billboard, Times Square.
You want to make designs for a New York Times billboard?
Yeah, for the one in Times Square. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's like an outdoor advertising campaign for.
You could maybe mock it up. It's like a joke and post them online or something.
Yeah, I just love to see something a bit more fun come out of it. Just something a bit more fun, off the cuff, playful, colorful. Just nothing that we've seen before. I'd like to see someone turn something on its head. I don't know. Maybe some AI integration would be fun. AI Bitcoin design guide.
So how about a project where people cannot participate, only AIs can participate?
There we go.
There's a prize for best AI agent.
I was actually thinking of something more in lines of the role of AI in Bitcoin UX, AI wallets, or chatbots for onboarding, or security patterns recognitions, maybe something like that.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, chatbots for onboarding are helpful, I think.
That's it. That's it.
I would be hesitant to trust chatbots with my keys or anything.
Right. That's the only thing, is you don't want to.
You just have too much money.
Strained.
Even with little money. No, but it's interesting. That'd be a cool thing to explore. There's a lot of conversation around that too. Wallets for AI agents.
Don't you guys think there's already like too much wallet in the Bitcoin space? Like, everyone wants to just do a wallet. Well, I'm thinking more of the education space, like how to get more people to understand Bitcoin, like make it easier in a way. That might be something.
Yeah, are you thinking about specific part of the world or audience, or just very more really general?
I'm thinking more specifics, especially in my region, like Nigeria. I'm thinking more specifics because we have the problem of, say, government policies. That's like there's a ban on currency in my country at the moment. So a lot of people see it as something bad, except those that are tech savvy. So we can find a way to get more people from like the grassroots to understand it easier. I think that would be something that will really fasten adoption.
Have you looked into Me Premier Bitcoin's content? So they have a bunch of content that's fully open source, and they actually encourage local teams to fork it and adjust it to their market. Right. So if you have specific use cases or needs in your region, then they would encourage you forking some of their effort and adapting it to what you need.
That could very well be a Designathon project. Just figure out this onboarding specifically for Nigeria, and then you use existing materials, whatever you need, right? You do research on what's out there, take what's appropriate, remix it or come up with new things, and then just put it in whatever shape you find works best for that audience. That could totally be a Designathon project. Solve your local problems.
Might just as well go for it. Yeah.
I would love to see some hyper local and very local type of things.
Yeah, that would be very fun to see.
All right. Thanks, guys.
You hopping off, or
Shall we end it then? Seems everyone is a bit.
yeah, we can continue the conversation in. Yeah, my first Bitcoin Blockstream also has a blockstream.com/local. They also kind of have this local meetup packages with informational bits. There's a bunch of stuff out there. You can probably take some of that and repurpose it, adjust it, remix it, and make something that really speaks to the locals in the right way. But cool, then I will. Anything else, or I'll just stop the recording.